college basketball on CBS Sports Network. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota, and we're set for some round ball action in Las Vegas. It's the Mountain West Women's Basketball Tournament Championship. The #1 seeded UNLV Lady Rebels taking on the #7 seeded San Diego State Aztecs as they take a look at how these two teams got here to set the stage for tonight. Welcome in, everybody. Jordan Cann alongside Kelly Burke, and really the story coming into this one, San Diego State winning 3 games over the last 3 nights. Do they have enough juice left in the tank for win #4? UNLV seeking their 3rd consecutive tournament championship title.
UNLV exactly where they expected to be. The Lady Rebels have embraced and weathered the storm all season. 7 seed San Diego State playing with house money tonight, but they want to beat the house here in Vegas.
A big reason why UNLV is favored in this one, they are bringing back the 2-time defending Mountain West Player of the Year, and Desiree Young. She can do it all on the floor.
This UNLV offense runs through Young. So exceptional with her back to the basket, can finish with either hand. Very active on the offensive and defensive glass, and has a great turnaround she's worked on and has extended that range out to the 3-point line.
For San Diego State, they're playing their best basketball when it matters the most this season. Their last 2 games have been upsets. They knocked off the #2 seeded New Mexico Lobos, #6 Boise State. It's because of their toughness, led by Adriana Quezada. She has really set the standard.
Quezada brings physicality and great footwork to the paint. Will pivot foot you to death, but she also can step out and knock down that 15-footer. Quezada at 5'10" is undersized, but she brings a whole lot of toughness to this Aztec squad.
As the saying goes in Las Vegas, the house always has the advantage. UNLV looking for a 3-peat, but you never leave a hot table. San Diego State trying to hit for a 4th time. Opening tip from Vegas when we come back. Up and ready to go from the Thomas Mack Center here in Las Vegas. #1 UNLV, the Lady Rebels, hosting San Diego State, the #7 seed, seeking one more upset. And for Aztecs head coach Stacey Terry Hudson, her 11th season, she was emotional after their win over Boise State the other night. She's so proud of this team's success, and she feels like, as you said earlier, they're playing with house money, nothing to lose in this championship game. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Kubota. For San Diego State, Kim Villalobos, the heart and soul of this team, will do all the dirty work. Abby Prohaska has played in 139 collegiate games for UNLV. Alyssa Brown, part of that 1-2 tandem down low for the Lady Rebels that have made them a force to be reckoned with in the Mountain West this year. And how about the 4th season for Lindy LaRock, the former Stanford Cardinal who played in 4 Final Fours, has already infused her DNA in this program and built it into a championship contender.
Just incredible what Coach LaRock has done here in Vegas, her hometown nonetheless, and she's just built this UNLV team into an absolute powerhouse.
What's interesting is these two teams met in the beginning of March, and it was a lopsided victory for UNLV. As you see, the Lady Rebels have won 9 straight against San Diego State. They won 100-41, but both coaches said you can throw that out the window. There's so much to play for, and this is not the same San Diego State team that took the floor in March.
As evidenced by yesterday, UNLV had to grind it out with Colorado State just to get back to this championship game.
Lady Rebels win the tip. Your officials, Lisa Jones, Brenda Pantoja, and Nicole Murray. It's Young, early turnover forced by San Diego State, and that's something the Aztecs will do.
San Diego State lives on those turnovers, turning them from defense to offense, but UNLV only averaging just over 10 turnovers per game. Key stat to watch.
San Diego State will try to attack you one-on-one. Can UNLV stay in front of the ball handler, shore up that defense? That was the scouting report for the Lady Rebels. The 3 outside, no good. Rebound to Young.
Rebounding battle also going to be something to watch in this game. The Lady Rebels so active both ends of the floor on the glass.
UNLV comes into this game 29-2, 17-1 in conference play. Their lone loss in the Mountain West was at home to New Mexico. Young down low, clears it out and gets the game's first bucket.
And if you decide not to double Desiree Young, she will just go to work on you, facing you up, backing you down in the post. That's a decision and a gamble San Diego State's going to have to make and take.
Coach Hudson said, we have to pick our poison. Do we double her or do we go one-on-one? And leave our defender on an island, so they'll try to switch it up throughout the game. Villalobos, 2 defenders come, trying to get the pass out, dumps it off to Prohaska. Baseline jumper, that is pure for 2.
That's the experience Prohaska brings, coming over to rescue out of the double team. Her teammate in Villalobos for the open baseline J.
Double in the corner leaves Brown on the wing. No good on the 3. Rebound to Quezada. Quezada will reset the offense. That's a kick ball on Young. The sideline out of bounds here for San Diego State.
Just a nice job, Prohaska, coming over to bail out the double team that had come. Has that baseline J going, and she's a huge factor at point guard on the San Diego State team.
Prohaska spent the early part of her career at Notre Dame, where she played in a national championship game, lost to Baylor in 2019. One of the most experienced players in all of women's college basketball. Quezada will let it fly off target. Another board for Young.
It's a 15-footer, though, that Quezada can routinely hit with efficiency. 3rd in the Mountain West in field goal percentage.
Scoggin the drive, the left-handed scoop, bounces off, rebound to the Aztecs.
Here comes San Diego State in transition.
And a live ball turnover. Lady Rebels trying to run it back. Jackson dashing towards the cup for 2.
Kiera Jackson, such a quick first step, and you give her any sort of wiggle room, she's finding her way to the rim.
Jackson, the junior from Grand Prairie, Texas. One of a handful of players for UNLV averaging double figures. The difficult scoop shot bounces in. Barcelo gets her first bucket.
Barcelo, somebody that Stacey Terry-Hudson calls the MVP of what we do. Like Villalobos does a ton of the dirty work, gives this Aztecs team whatever they need.
That's a foul on Quezada on the ball. First personal, first team foul, and obviously it's early, but that's a player that can't afford to get into any type of foul trouble. Neither
of these bigs for San Diego State can afford to, and that's going to be a key matchup with Young in the post. When Alyssa Brown is in, there's really a 3-headed monster at play in the post for UNLV.
The Lady Rebels leading the conference in scoring at just over 80 points per game because of plays like this. Jackson again to the cup.
Jackson taking advantage too. Alyssa Brown had sealed her man, gave her a wide open clear-cut pass to the basket.
Quezada spinning. They send the double team late. Quezada trying to fight through it. Blocked. Ball on the floor. Numbers for the Lady Rebels. They kick it ahead. Scoggin, cross court. Jackson. She'll slow it down. Brown, the pump fake. Brown, the drive. Bodies bouncing off of one another as Brown draws the foul.
UNLV doing a much better job today of attacking the paint, both their post and their guard play. And Brown taking it off the dribble. But how about Kiera Jackson all the way to the 10? Just sneaking her way between 2 Aztec defenders, and a great steal there by Obi Eisel.
Fouls on Jada Lewis, her first. Alyssa Brown from Tucson was the Arizona Gatorade High School Player of the Year. Set a school record with 932 points. That's almost like you, Kelly.
not quite, but but Alyssa Brown, it was funny early in the season, Coach Lindy LaRocque saying that Young was giving her a hard time because she was taking away some of her rebounds.
That's a good problem for a coach to have, though. Greediness with the boards. Prohaska up and under. Can't get the lay-in, an opportunity lost at the rim.
San Diego State has gotten a couple of really good looks at the rim, and when you are basically in a David and Goliath situation, you have to be able to finish those looks.
Jaslyn Green checks in for San Diego State, and that's a player that was a later rival for the Aztecs this season.
She really is the secret sauce for the San Diego State team. Came in February, has been a huge difference maker as that backup point guard.
Jackson with 4 points, trying to look inside to Brown. Obi Eisel driving, clears out some real estate, offensive foul. As the Aztecs are not afraid to step in front and take a charge.
It's a nice job by Kylie Pepe taking the physicality, but it's Obi Eisel extending that forearm, makes it an easy call for the official. Initially had Pepe beat, but they are right there, the extension of the forearm.
And credit Pepe for making that extra effort to get in front of Obi Eisel at the end instead of trying to rely on a foul.
Didn't give up on the play.
in their win over Boise State, you saw an Aztec player crash to the floor nearly every defensive possession, whether it's fighting for a rebound or taking a charge. It is a banged-up, physical team as Green, no luck, down low, and again, more bodies on the floor this time. Green holding the back of her head, and looks like Jackson is down. Jackson standing over her teammate.
It's actually Kimpson, I think.
For Kimpson, who just checked in, the freshman, yes, 33. It's both players kind of shaken up, and it'll take a moment for them to catch their breath, and player control fouls on both ends of the floor here.
Green was trying to clear out space for herself under the basket, and UNLV making everything tough right now around the rim. But look at that defense from Kimpson, just a freshman, and she's getting beat up in the process. Tough angle too from Jaslyn Green, but lowered her shoulder a bit. Easy call for the official.
Although it's a foul, the one thing that Stacey Terry Hudson said in their last loss to UNLV is we didn't compete. At least you're seeing the physicality early on as another player hits the deck. Ball moves down the floor. Here's Green on the wing. Bounce pass, Quezada, tough shot, kisses it off the window.
That's Quezada's game. She spent so much time practicing off a 1 foot falling away. Very unconventional, unorthodox shots.
The proof is in the pudding with Quezada, though. She's third in the conference in field goal percentage. Kimpson, pump fake, spin move. Excellent box out on the other end by Pepe.
San Diego State right now doing a great job on the boards, limiting UNLV to one and done in this game. And it is a tight one here in Las Vegas. UNLV up one here.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Together we do more. By AT&T. We believe connecting changes everything. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Some postseason hardware for the Lady Rebels, as you see Player of the Year Desiree Young, her second consecutive award. But how about Amarachi Kimpson, Freshman of the Year, also 6th Player of the Year.
Kimpson fresh off that 18-point outing last night, 7 of 12 from the field. She was a huge factor in that UNLV win.
Kelly, let's get to your keys to the game here for this one.
San Diego State has to turn defense to offense. They have to be able to force turnovers against UNLV, and they have to get to the charity stripe. Leads the Mountain West in that category. UNLV wants to play with pace and get to the paint, and bench production going to be huge. Lady Rebels averaging 36 bench points against the Aztecs.
Green fighting for positioning down low. Defense collapses, kicks it out. Pepe will let a 3 roll. That is off target, bounces out of bounds. It'll be Lady Rebels ball.
UNLV doing a nice job so far of clogging the paint, making all the looks at the rim tough on the Aztecs.
San Diego State was last in the Mountain West and made 3-pointers this season. And you already see what they're trying to do on defense. UNLV take away that paint, forcing to be outside shooters. Obi Izor down low, can't get the English on it. A tussle for the rebound. Possession will go for San Diego State.
I've been impressed with the physicality San Diego State is playing with, especially their 4th game in 4 days. You know the legs are gone a little bit, but Kylie Pepe is coming, giving San Diego State some really great minutes off the bench.
From our vantage point, this does not look like a team that appears winded. They did not do shoot around this morning. They've been doing some pool workouts, lots of ice baths, trying to keep those legs fresh for this championship game, their 4th game in 4 nights. Here's the 3, Prohaska. Skips off the rim, Jackson back the other way.
Oh, nice
Young,
touch pass.
Touch pass, Jackson wide open, lets it fly. And again, more bodies on the floor, and a bit of an awkward fall for Young as she fell right on top of the ball, and just to check herself as she's helped up to her feet.
San Diego State too lucky that that ball went out of bounds, because Desiree Young had the inside position on that box out. She is so active on the offensive glass.
Little full court pressure coming out from the Lady Rebels. And a cross-court pass, and that was just led a little too far forward. Prohaska was telling Green, you've got to run to the open spot.
Got to meet the pass. I like this move, though, from UNLV. Coach Lindy LaRock going to a little full court pressure, mixing up the defenses, especially against San Diego State, the legs that they're playing on right now.
third turnover for San Diego State. Then Prohaska going to reach in and draw the foul as she was trying to intercept the pass to Jackson.
I like, though, Prohaska is doing a nice job with the on-ball pressure. You have to be physical against this UNLV guards, making even that entry pass into the bigs difficult.
Here comes nearly a line change for San Diego State. 4 players stepping in, Villalobos, as well as Quezada, along with Lewis. Abby Prohaska is the subject of a Reese's player profile, coming from Liberty Township, Ohio, played at Notre Dame, we mentioned, for those 4 years, was first team All-Mountain West this season, and just her experience and everything she can do on the floor as well. And
toughness. She's playing on a knee that's going to require surgery after this season.
The drive inside Durazo Frescas, no good. Young blocked. And the physicality from San Diego State in the interior continuing to shine.
Nice job there by UNLV getting back that transition defense. Aztecs initially had numbers.
Green trying to work her way to the cup, and that is an elbow to the mouth of Young, and a second offensive foul against Jaslyn Green.
Green just playing a little bit out of control right now. Right idea, attacking the paint, trying to get Young in foul trouble, but she's being a little bit careless with her body, trying to create some space. And Young doing a nice job. Didn't have the position, but got hit in the face. Right there, it was the shoulder. You lower that shoulder, it goes right into Young's head.
And then on the other end, Jackson pump fake, draws the foul, and the foul starting to stack up here for San Diego State. That'll now be their 6th team foul, as Jackson will head to the line.
UNLV, not a team you want to put on the free throw line. Shoots 78% on the season.
Jackson misses the first. He leads the team in assists with 4.6 per game. Second in total points, and UNLV right now trying to end a scoring drought of nearly 3.5 minutes here in the first quarter.
How about this? Neither team has scored since that media timeout until that point.
We thought it was going to be a track meet. Right now it's a little bit slow pace when it comes to the scoring, but the effort has been there so far. Quezada setting a screen. A 3 from up top. Off target, but fighting for the offensive rebound. Maya Davis able to keep it alive. Villalobos, hesitation dribble, gets into the paint, up and under. A remarkable shot as she falls to the floor.
Villalobos just so crafty with that basketball, really understands angles.
Oh, Jackson, though, the cat-like crossover, can't cash in.
UNLV, they're going to have to do it on the defensive end right now, because the shots that they normally make are just not falling. Getting great looks, though.
They have missed 7 straight. Have the Lady Rebels here on their home court, essentially.
Just shooting 25% right now.
Villalobos sizes up Young, short on the jumper. Just under 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Young getting positioning. Quezada has that one foul, has to be careful. Pump fake from Brown. Brown lowers the shoulder. Offensive foul. Alyssa Brown whistled as who else?
Quezada.
It's Quezada right there.
Of course it's Quezada, just smart, in position, setting up shop there in the lane. Villalobos, so crafty, going to the reverse, so hard to block that. Then back the other way, nice pump fake by Alyssa Brown, but a little bit out of control. Quezada has her feet set before Brown up in the air.
She reads it so well. She does an excellent job of just waiting for that last half second, not taking that last shuffle that a lot of players do that'll then turn it into a block rather than a charge.
Trust her defensive positioning.
Turnover number 5 actually for San Diego State. Jackson back down the other way. Can't get the angle. Brown, offensive rebound, trying to go through 2. Whistled for the travel. So San Diego State able to scramble back and force the stop.
San Diego State reacts so well. They just collapse on the offensive rebounders right now of UNLV, making those second chance look so difficult.
Both teams have combined 7 for 26 to start this game. Been a bit of a brick fight, but that's exactly how San Diego State will take it as Quezada, whirling, twirling, puts it in.
Quezada, the emotional leader of this team, and she's at her best on those spin moves off those pivot foots.
Jackson trying to do it all herself. Kicks it up top. Durazo Frescas into the lane. Loses it to Young. Young able to put it right up and over the defense.
And when you get Young that ball that deep in the paint, she is basically automatic. Nice job by Durazo Frescas finding her.
7-second differential between shot and game clock. Quezada pivoting. Cross-court pass to the corner. 10 to shoot. Davis. Gonna pick up the dribble, back to Villalobos. 5 for Villalobos, corner jumper rolls in.
What's tough about these San Diego State bigs, Villalobos and Quezada, they can knock down that 15 to 18 footer with a lot of efficiency.
Third charge taken by San Diego State. Jackson whistled for it, and the Aztecs getting in front of all the traffic.
UNLV is going to have to make that adjustment. Can't go right into the defense. Is going to have to jump stop and either go up with the J or dump off to a teammate.
5th turnover for UNLV, 3.6. Quezada deep in the backcourt, and she will just play it very conservatively as San Diego State, the 7th seed, up 2 over UNLV, the top seed. That's the end of the first quarter with the score 12 to 10. The Aztecs trying to shock the world. You are watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. Linda Frulich was the all-time leading scorer in UNLV history on the men's or women's side with 2,355 career points, 3-time All-American and 3-time Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. CBS Sports proudly celebrates Women's History Month, and Frulich did more than just score the basketball also
was the first UNLV women's player to have 1,000 plus career rebounds, was drafted 2nd round in the WNBA, and she was nicknamed Dirk in a Skirt after Dirk Nowitzki had a very lengthy and prolific playing career over in Europe.
Little housekeeping from the first quarter. San Diego State started this game 3 of 11. They ended the quarter 3 of 4. UNLV started this game 3 of 5, 1 for 9. They've had some opportunities at the rim they haven't been able to convert. 3 offensive fouls against UNLV. San Diego State not afraid to take those charges, and right now they lead by 2. As we said before, you can forget about the previous game that they lost 100 to 41. Stakes are completely different here with an NCAA tournament berth on the line.
Aztecs trying to make this a grinded out game.
Brown from the corner from Young. Prohaska secures the rebound, kicks it down the floor. Lewis steps into the jumper. Young with another board. Brown in transition, knifing through the lane, and that'll end the drought for UNLV.
UNLV needs more of that. They love to push off of those defensive boards, get it up before that Aztec defense can get set.
Quezada fading away, and just like she practices.
Quezada just has that old man at the wide game, has that high release point, hard to block. Really tough shot.
That game will last you a while as that is batted away via Lobos, forcing the turnover. Defensively, San Diego State just really locked in. We heard Coach Hudson say the connectivity of this team has been completely different towards the end of the season.
He talked about how coachable this Aztec squad has been, especially those in-game adjustments.
Villalobos trying to muscle her way to the rim. Another fadeaway and another bucket for the Aztecs.
I just love the fearlessness that Villalobos and Quezada are playing with right now, going right at Desiree Young.
Kimson coast to coast with a sweet J.
Kimson, she can be that difference maker off the bench. Was huge last night. UNLV's offense struggling, came in, instant offense and energy.
Her 18 points led all scorers. Even more proof of why she was 6th player of the year and freshman of the year. Quezada this time going to the left, trying to pivot. And that is excellent defense by Young. Got 2 hands on the basketball. Young
does such a good job not biting on those shot takes, also pushing Quezada deep into the baseline. But look at this shot. Villalobos fade away, high release. That is tough to block.
Brand Jordan does sponsor San Diego State. And just like the jump man himself, that was patented.
Just textbook.
And look at the number for Villalobos.
Only fitting.
Writes itself. It writes itself here. Baseline out of bounds here for the Aztecs. Dangerous passes. Barcelo barely gets it in. Prohaska stops on a dime, short on the jumper. Can't chase it down. Kimpson surveying the floor, kicks it over to the side. Scoggin from long range. San Diego State doing a nice job of getting a body on Young there.
UNLV has yet to make a three-pointer in this game.
Neither team has a combined 0 for 8. Our both squads from beyond the arc. Izada steps into it, lets it fly, and another jumper buried.
Young is going to have to come out and close out, get a hand in the face of Quezada because she is so good in that pinch post area, knocking down those shots.
Quezada 8 points, 4 of 7 from the field, the lead all scorers. Scoggin, curling, firing, no. Just the luxury of another ball handler as well for San Diego State with Prohaska completely under control. Prohaska going to the left. A flurry of fakes, goes off the glass and rolls it in.
Aztecs doing such a nice job getting to that low block area and attacking off the window.
Less than 2 weeks ago, they lost 100-41. Now they lead by 6. In the tournament championship game as the lid continues to stay on the rim for the Lady Rebels.
Aztecs are just playing with a whole lot of fearlessness right now. UNLV carrying all the pressure in this game. Aztecs playing super loose and with absolutely no fear.
Fiso with 10 to shoot, tries to dump it off, turned over. Quezada trying to keep it alive. And this might be foul number 2 on Quezada.
It's big.
It is, and now a decision to be made for San Diego State. Quezada has been their best, most effective player in this game. It just picked up her second personal.
It's a nice job. Desiree Young getting into the passing lane, creating the turnover and able to draw the foul. That's huge. Quezada 8 points. Her and Villalobos combined 14 points in this game.
And it's so hard when you have a motor like Quezada to turn it off in a moment like that and realize you can't afford to pick up your second foul.
Especially when you're the emotional leader of San Diego State.
Stumbling and traveling is Obi Izor, and another turnover, number 7 for the Lady Rebels.
UNLV only averages just over 10 turnovers per game. They're nearly that, and we're not even into the middle of the second quarter yet.
Those 10 turnovers per game, second best in the nation, second best in the Mountain West. San Diego State maintain this lead or hold their water while Quezada is on the bench with those 2 fouls. Barcelo trying to play a little 2-player game here, and that's going to be a jump ball possession, San Diego State.
San Diego State, though, having success going to the 2-man game. Barcelo drawing the defense up. Help has to rotate over in Desiree Young, and lucky there actually was Kimpson to get the jump ball call.
How about Young defensively? She has stopped a lot of action down low. This time the inbounds pass. Physical play, no whistle. Davis couldn't go up with it.
UNLV has to capitalize, though, turning defense to offense.
Young over the top. Obi Izor, the catch and finish.
It's a great high-low look from Desiree Young. You think about her offense, but elite vision as a big, putting it right on the money inside to Obi Izor.
Alyssa Jackson running the point. The freshman from Fairfield, California, getting some big-time minutes. Typically pretty deep on the bench for her, but stepping up when her team needs her. Barcelo draws 2, kicks it to the corner. Fiso the 3, no good. Young scoops up the board, her 5th.
She's taking it herself.
Young in transition, showing the handle. Getting down low, the hook shot, no good.
That's a little Patrick Ewing-esque there.
When Lindy LaRoque said her game was like Patrick Ewing, she said, who? And both you and I felt old immediately.
I mean, I could not believe she didn't know who Patrick Ewing is.
I know, unbelievable. Timeout on the floor. San Diego State leads by 4.
Aztecs doing a great job with a nice high-low look from UNLV inside. Obi Izor with the finish.
It's been a brilliant first half performance from San Diego State. They lead by 4 with 4:43 left here in the first half. Well, Saturday morning at 11 Eastern, we bring you more women's championship hoops as the MAC title game tips off from Cleveland, Ohio. See which team will punch their ticket to the big dance here on CBS Sports Network. And you feel like that might be a two-bid league. We'll get to that here in a second because Quezada has made her presence felt here in the first.
Quezada is so dangerous on the run. Look at the turnaround step-back shot. And she is a spin master off of that pivot foot. 8 points early in this game, but does have 2 fouls, so she's on the bench right now. That is a key factor for San Diego State.
Pivotal 4:43 stretch. Can the Aztecs maintain this lead? Let's keep this game close while their star is on the bench. Prohaska dishes it over. Green, the jumper, just rolls out. Jackson back the other way, trying to push it with that left hand. Cut off by Prohaska. Young trying to do a little dribble handoff, cut off, nearly stolen as Green dives for it. Green on the floor. Obiizor will let it fly. Rebound to Villalobos.
Nice job again. San Diego State limiting UNLV to 1 and done. Have not been able to get any of those second chance opportunities.
UNLV averages 80 points per game. They are 7 of 23, still south of 20 points. Villalobos, the pump fake, spinning, tough shot. It's Jackson again, pacing the floor. Jackson had a chance. Sees a little daylight, short on the jumper again.
Jackson is getting great looks. She was deep in the paint on the block. Patient even, just couldn't finish on that angle.
As much as we talk about the 4th game in 4 nights for San Diego State as Prohaska can't hit the jumper, it's also the 3rd game in 3 nights for UNLV.
UNLV right now just looks like they're pressing so much on those rim looks. Prohaska now guarding Young. They switch back.
Young steps up top, checked by Villalobos. Excellent fake back cut, wide open. Scoggin lost the defender.
Great off-ball movement from Ashley Scoggin, the transfer from Nebraska. That's probably the most open look we have seen in this game for UNLV.
And just the subtle pump fake from Young really sold that too. That's the lead to 2, under 3 minutes left here in the first half as Lewis pounds the rock up top. Villalobos on the block, faces up against Young. Second defender comes, Prohaska cutting, Prohaska cut off. Obiizor seals the defender, and that is going to be an offensive foul. The officials saw that. So wave off the basket. Obiizor whistled for the offensive foul.
Obiizor was trying to pin her defender to open the path for Jackson. But another offensive foul call.
A reminder coming up on AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Wally Zerbiak, and Tarika Foster-Bradley break down our first half and bring you highlights of all the conference tournament week action. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
UNLV into a 2-3 zone now.
First true zone look we've seen from the Lady Rebels this evening, and that is a deflection from Jackson, knocks it out of bounds. 12 to shoot for San Diego State.
Sometimes the decision, though, to switch up defenses can energize this team for UNLV.
And Pepe will step onto the floor. And taking a look at some of the foul issues so far, Green and Quezada each with 2. Obiizor picking up her second on that offensive foul also.
Now back into man-to-man.
Pepe, 5 to shoot, has to do something with it. This is going to be Barcelo. Barcelo doesn't see the shot clock, and a turnover forced by the Lady Rebels defense.
That's where the foul trouble is wreaking a little bit of havoc. You don't have that player for San Diego State right now that can create your own shot in a low shot clock situation.
What was interesting was the switch from zone to man. You felt like Pepe was substituted into the game to handle that zone look. All of a sudden, it got blown up by the switch to defense.
Yeah, just really smart switching it up from Lindy LaRocque and her staff.
Here's Young. Been rather quiet in the second quarter. 2 pivots, Young with the left. Still struggling to score the basketball here in the first half.
That look from Young, loves to go to that right shoulder, basically automatic, just hasn't been able to finish.
San Diego State trying to get their first points in nearly 5.5 minutes. Still cold, offensive rebound ripped away by Pepe. However, UNLV forces the turnover. Jackson, double crossover, nearly lost her defender. Now it's Young screaming for the basketball. Young trying to go to work. Young fading away, lips it in.
That's the turnaround fadeaway. Young has spent so much time this offseason working on, and she does such a nice job using that pivot foot, going shoulder to shoulder to read where that defense sits.
Kimson knocks it away, nearly an open floor steal as the crowd starting to come alive here for UNLV.
Desiree Young demanding this basketball, had a lot of space to work with, and then just gets Pepe on that fake. And then the beautiful fadeaway turnaround.
She may not know who Patrick Ewing is, but that was very much like Hakeem Olajuwon.
Who she probably doesn't know either.
We might need to educate her after this game. Dust off the old history books.
It's making me feel old.
Pop in the VHS tape, adjust the tracking, and show her some history. Prohaska with 15 to shoot. Looks it over to Villalobos. It's Davis that gets the ball screen. Davis fires the three, and neither team still able to connect from outside. And now with 39.4 left in this first half, UNLV can try to break the 6th tie of this game. Jackson trying to go 2 for 1. The jumper in and out. Three-second differential between shot and game clock. San Diego State, the 7th seed, trying to get an automatic bid to the NCAA Tournament. UNLV looking for their 3rd consecutive conference tournament title, locked up with 15 seconds left. Villalobos has some room behind the back dish. Pepe wasn't quite ready for it. 6 seconds left. Orozco Fresca's offensive foul. Ball goes right back to San Diego State.
Desiree Young was on the floor twice in that sequence defensively. And this is a big break for the Aztecs. What a behind the back pass, though, initially from Kim Villalobos. Just the defense converging in the middle of that paint. And it's the arm extension again.
Quezada back in the game for the final second. Sets the ball screen. Prohaska trying to go to work. Nice through 2. Tripped up and doesn't get the shot off. So at the end of the first half, the score is 20-20. And how about the effort we're seeing from San Diego State, their 4th game in 4 nights?
San Diego State is bringing the physicality. They are really irritating UNLV right now. Hasn't been an offensive masterpiece, but Aztecs tied at 20 with UNLV at the half.
That's the end of the first half. We'll get you to Adam Zucker in our New York studio for AT&T at the half. After the break, one more half to decide a champion. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. We are notched up at 20 apiece in Las Vegas. UNLV, San Diego State, they are playing for that trophy and a berth in the NCAA Tournament as we welcome you back into Las Vegas. And Jordan Kent alongside Kelly Birkin. For San Diego State, the game plan was, can you slow down this offense of UNLV, the league's highest scoring offense? The Aztecs have held the Lady Rebels to just 20 points in the first half.
Desiree Young, just 6 points, and the game plan for the Aztecs was to make their supporting cast a Young beater. Aztecs have done a great job with that. Adriana Quezada has been doing work, leading all scorers, 8 points in this game. So tough with that fadeaway look and that 15-foot jump shot. Desiree Young hasn't been able to get in a great rhythm, but she needs to do more of this, muscling her way into the paint in the second half.
Let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Android. And not the greatest shooting night for both teams, but San Diego State will live with that. That's more of a problem for UNLV. The Lady Rebels 0 for 4 from 3. Both teams with 9 turnovers. And the final play of the first half, Prohaska knocked to the floor, but keep an eye at Brown, clapping and chirping a little bit. So buckle up and get set for a second half.
Getting a little chippy out here.
And that's what you expect, though, because San Diego State, they lost their last game, which was March 5th, 100-41 on this very same floor on senior night to UNLV. It's a different Aztec team as Jackson right to the rim for 2 points to start the second half.
A really good sign. Jackson has to get in a rhythm, has had some great looks on those drives, just wasn't able to finish them in the first half.
Jackson 7 points, 3 of 8 from the field. UNLV will wrestle the lead back after our 6th tie of the game. Quezada sat the majority of the second quarter, picking up her second foul. She's now back on the floor to start the second half. Prohaska trying to go one-on-one, thought about the step back. Quezada will cast another one off target. Great
defensive possession from UNLV. Desiree Young not letting Villalobos get to her spots in the paint.
UNLV on a quiet 8-0 run, going all the way back to the second quarter. Young pivoting through, another one just short at the rim.
He's getting great positioning. Again, just being able to finish at the rim, has to continue to concentrate on those angles.
Prohaska cutting, pump fake, left-handed jumper, sticks it.
I just love the boxiness of Abby Prohaska going right at Desiree Young.
Young, the handoff to Scoggin. Neither team has hit a triple. Still 0 from beyond the arc is UNLV. San Diego State, a handful of capable ball handlers that can initiate this offense. You saw Green getting things going there. Villalobos facing up against Young. Villalobos draws 2. Prohaska left wide open from the elbow. Back-to-back jumpers for her.
Prohaska just does such a great job relocating over off that double team to be ready to catch and shoot on that jump shot.
It's Brown. Brown nails the first 3 of the night, and UNLV takes back a 1-point lead.
That's what makes UNLV so dangerous, is not only can their guards come out and hit the 3, but Alyssa Brown, the big, can stretch the floor, force you to come out and guard her.
Villalobos trying to match. Scoggin will bring it down the floor. No intention of slowing it down as she hurries to the left-hand wing. Young to Jackson. Jackson trying to work the 2-man game. They get the switch. It's Lewis. Vanessa front Young.
Gotta get Young the ball.
Scoggin, pump fake, dribble. Oh, fundamental for 2.
And a quick start for UNLV to this second half. The poise is there, and it started on the defensive end. And now the offense starting to get in flow. Just a nice job of the Lady Rebels offense, getting it going here in the third quarter. Ashley Scoggins with the J. Lady Rebels up 3.
UNLV 3 for their last 5 to start this third quarter. They lead by 3 in the Mountain West Conference Tournament Championship game here. Well, Jersey Mike's is the proud title sponsor of the Naismith Women's Player of the Year Award. Join us over Final Four weekend as we highlight this year's winners right here on CBS Sports Network. Crowd coming alive here in UNLV as the Lady Rebels are seeking their 3rd consecutive conference tournament title. However, this game against San Diego State, nothing like their matchup on March 2nd.
Nothing like that 59-point beatdown here in Las Vegas, but the offense starting to get in flow here for the Lady Rebels.
And that timeout called by Stacey Terry Hudson felt like it was more of a defensive timeout because UNLV is starting to get on a rhythm offensively.
Aztecs are doing such a nice job in that first half, really clogging up the paint, making anything around the rim difficult, but UNLV starting to find those gaps.
Lady Rebels throw out the zone. Quezada trying to work against Young. Stuck on that baseline, has to try and whip a pass, but can't get it to Barcelo as it bounces out of bounds.
Exactly like we saw in the first half when the Lady Rebels went to that 2-3 zone, able to force a quick turnover.
10th turnover of the game for San Diego State. Feels like a critical juncture in this game with the Lady Rebels starting to get into rhythm. Outside 3, too strong. Offensive rebound, wrestled by Young. Young 1-2 step to the cup, can't convert.
Just the 3rd offensive rebound for UNLV in this game. Aztecs have done a really good job overall of neutralizing the offensive glass for UNLV, normally such a strength.
Young with 10 rebounds already, though, to go along with 6 points. Here's a 3 from Lewis. would have tied the game, as San Diego State now 0 for 7 from 3.
The battle going on for positioning between Quezada and Young inside.
That is foul number 3 against Adriana Quezada. But at this point, it feels like you have to keep her in the game when you're trailing by 3 and struggling on offense.
Especially with Desiree Young starting to heat up a little here in the second half.
So you wonder if UNLV will make a concerted effort to try and attack Quezada. They go right back to Young. Quezada can't do anything as Young flips it in.
She just has such poise. Didn't panic in the first half when shots weren't falling, doing other things like rebounding the ball, 4 steals in that first half, making an impact in other ways. Now the offense is starting to come.
7-0 run for UNLV. It's their largest lead of the game. San Diego State has got to find some offense. Villalobos trying to go under the hoop, picks up the dribble, double teamed. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. San Diego State ball with 7 to shoot under the hoop.
Young does such a good job of getting to her spot. She buries you deep in the paint, and she is so automatic on that turnaround look about 5 feet out.
Prohaska cutting, can't get open. Here is Quezada, though. She was wide open. Young pokes it away. And Kelly, I tell you this, Young defensively just puts a lid on so much of what San Diego State's been trying to do in the paint here.
So underrated as a defensive player because you're focused so much on her offense. She's a double-double machine, but she is always in position on the defensive end, jumps into those passing lanes.
Out goes Quezada as San Diego State faces their largest deficit of the game. It's Young trying to extend the lead. Young, the 1-2 shake, goes window shopping and extends the lead to 7.
Emotion's starting to come out a little at Young. She's starting to get in rhythm.
Lewis, no good. Lady Rebels running the floor.
Feels like danger time for San Diego State.
Scoggin from outside, yes! UNLV leads by 10.
This place is going nuts. Ashley Scoggins, one of those deadly three-point shooters for UNLV, and just wasn't able to find the range in the first half.
12-0 run for the Lady Rebels, as we've reached a boiling point in this one.
And Young, just a tough shot, using the pivot foot on the fadeaway, off the window. Desiree Young heated up in Vegas.
And tomorrow, get ready for more Mountain West Tournament hoops as we bring you all of the men's quarterfinal action right here in Vegas. Tip-off begins at 3 Eastern when Utah State battles Fresno State. And then the mayhem wraps up at 11:30 as Boise State clashes against New Mexico. Catch it all right here on CBS Sports Network. East Coast, get your coffee ready because you have 6 teams in the top 50 of the net. This might be a 6-bid league this year.
And who says you have to be a Power 5 team to get those type of numbers into the tournament?
The 3 executed to perfection out of the timeout. Lewis breathing some much-needed life into San Diego State on offense.
I like the play call to get Jada Lewis a look from 3. She's their best 3-point shooter for the Aztecs, and able to get her in a rhythm in this game could be huge.
Trying to match on the other end is UNLV, and then how about Lewis wrestling for the rebound? Quezada on the bench with those 3 fouls. Well, it feels like Prohaska, Villalobos really have to carry the scoring load here. Another jumper just off target as Lewis was looking to go back-to-back. Vincent in the game, handling the orange for the Lady Rebels. Flips it over to Brown.
Over the high-low look.
Brown determined to get to the rim. Brown somehow flips it in.
Off balance. I think her back was to the basket. Just great job of sticking with that shot, never taking your eye off the rim.
Scoggin, nice job of getting over the ball screen there. She stays locked in on Lewis. Prohaska trying to shake Kimson. Gets to that mid-range jumper. Volleyballed alive, and San Diego State will recoup it. Villalobos. They leave Pepe wide open, and she makes him pay.
Big shot from Kylie Pepe. Durazo Frescas.
And on the other end, Durazo Frescas, you see her shaking her head towards the UNLV bench, and one of the tougher players for the Lady Rebels, the junior from Newport Beach, California, now on the floor in considerable pain. And you see Lindy LaRock come over to take her hand, and as this arena has now come to a complete hush at the moment.
And no contact, too.
Durazo Frescas leads the team in made three-pointers, was ranked the number 66 recruit, scored over 1,000 points in high school, and really does such a fine job of just running the show for this UNLV offense. But she has helped to her feet and able to walk towards her own bench under her own power, which is a really promising sign at the moment.
That's scary when you have a player that goes down like that, and you fear the worst in that situation. But the fact she's able to walk off on her own accord is a really good sign.
She takes off the right sneaker on the bench. You see some tape on that right ankle. You see right now the two thumbs kind of at that ankle level. So we aren't doctors when we play them on TV. We'll try to get an official word on her status. But right now, the Lady Rebels, a 7-point lead, seeking their third consecutive tournament title. Kimson blocked at the summit, but a foul whistled. It's going to be against Pepe, and that'll send Kimson to the line for two.
Kimson so tough to guard off the bounce, plays absolutely with no fear, goes into attack mode. Look at all these Aztec jerseys around her, and look at this hang time by the freshman. She is going to be a special player.
Maybe a valid argument for all ball, but Kimson skips the first shot off the rim. But they are so excited about her future and what she's going to bring to the table. A freshman from Little Elm, Texas, averaging 9 points per game, as you see another layer of tape being applied to the ankle of Durazo Frescas.
Some full court pressure here by the Lady Rebels.
Lewis, another triple. She hits a second one.
Jada Lewis, one of the top three-point shooters in the Mountain West, and that is huge for San Diego State, who's punching back every time UNLV's making a run.
It's Young carving out some room, kicks it out to the corner. Scoggin, oh, the response as she hits her second triple.
And for no three-pointers in the first half, now it's all three-point offense coming from both sides.
3 for their last 5 from outside is UNLV. Timeout on the floor with the Lady Rebels leading by 8. 2:18 left here in the third quarter. Welcome back. UNLV leads by 8, 40-32 over San Diego State. And Kelly, not every shot is the same in the course of a game. That 3 by Scoggin, when UNLV had a 5-point lead, felt like it really put the brakes on any potential run San Diego State was about to go on.
It's a quick clap back to Jada Lewis's 3, and UNLV is doing a nice job too of finding the hot hand. Ashley Scoggin, that's 5 points now in the second half.
Villalobos working the high post. 2 defenders come as Kimson collapses down. Green up top trying to work against Kimson, lowers the shoulder, and one with a little touch off the glass.
Jasmine Green is just taking advantage that she has a matchup with Kimson, has a height advantage on her, and attacking off the bounce. Doing a great job protecting that basketball from the freshman.
Cuffed it like a running back as she lowered her shoulder and muscled it in a huge three-point play as Kimson picks up her first foul, and she adds some tip to the bill and trims the deficit to 5.
This San Diego State squad looks so different with Jasmine Green into this lineup.
And look who's back, the enforcer Quezada, as she readies a defensive stance. San Diego State trying to will themselves back into this game. It's Jackson on the wing. Cut off by Barcelo. Jackson to the left. Oh, silky smooth finish.
Nice job by Jackson of just punting that look, getting downhill with that left hand in a hurry, straight line path to the basket.
Both teams really coming alive offensively here in the third quarter. San Diego State, their 4th game in 4 nights. Not showing any signs of fatigue. Giant jump stop, and that's a travel. And that's an interesting one, Kelly, because usually if you're subtle with the hop,
right?
They let you get away with it. But when you sky, they're going to whistle the travel.
Jackson with a great finish off the left-handed look. But going back to the other way is Kim Villalobos and Quezada. What UNLV is not allowing them to do is go to that dribble and back UNLV defenders down deep in the paint.
They've been sending a second defender late oftentimes, and they have to pivot out and find somebody on the wing. And fortunately for them, the supporting cast has been shooting the ball well. Here's Young with her double-double, going to her right, working against Quezada with lips out. Scoggin, though, able to get the loose ball. Green trying to swarm her. She kicks it to the corner. Obiizor. Skip past Young, pump fake, player control foul. Who else? It's Quezada sacrificing the body.
Quezada, just a magnet for the floor, and she is not afraid at all to embrace and take that contact.
3rd foul on Obiizor as we take another look.
And she's just perfectly in position, and it's hard to get a charge call in college basketball now.
She's got 2 knee pads, elbow pads, arm sleeves, ankle tape. She sums up how this team is feeling when we talk to Coach Hudson. We are banged up, bruised up, limping through the finish line, but we have tremendous heart down the stretch.
I told you, if I was in a dark alley, I would want Quezada coming with me.
Amen. 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 13-second differential between shot and game clock. Prohaska trying to work the 2-man game. Prohaska fouled on the jump shot. That'll slow things down and send her to the free throw line.
Prohaska doing a nice job, too, of getting the switches she wants defensively. Had Obiizor switched onto her and smartly going right up with that shot, and then Obiizor just gets her on the hand. And you do not want to put Abby Prohaska on the free throw line because she's an 85% free throw shooter.
2nd foul on Brown. And this is exactly what San Diego State needed. Just slow the game down for a moment. Step to the free throw line and a chance to pull within 5 late in the 3rd quarter, which if you talked to them before this game and said you were down 2 possessions going into the 4th quarter, they probably take that 10 times out of 10.
No doubt.
Prohaska drills both of them. 19 seconds left. Jackson will initiate the offense as they call for a set. Coach LaRock orchestrating the offense from the sideline. It's Jackson spinning. Kimson trying to cut backdoor to the hoop. Kimson blocked by Pepe. And that'll close out the 3rd quarter as San Diego State, they trail by as many as 10. They trim it to 5. And at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's 42-37 as we head into the final quarter. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. Start of this 4th quarter here in Las Vegas. Let's go ahead and revisit your keys to the game here, Kelly.
Really the 2 difference makers in this game. The 26 points, UNLV in the paint, big advantage, 26-12 in that area. But San Diego State has been able to keep things close because they've forced 10 UNLV turnovers. Some of them have been dead ball, but have been able to draw some offensive fouls, which has really gotten UNLV out of their rhythm, especially in that first half.
3rd quarter was more like the UNLV team we've seen all season long as they put up 22 points. They eclipsed their first half total while shooting 56%. And now it's the number 7 seed San Diego State Aztecs trying to become just the 2nd 7 seed ever to win this conference tournament. Quezada, ball slapped away. Kimson able to poke it out.
Great job, Kimson ducking in there to knock that ball loose.
Jackson double team, tries to retreat the dribble. It's Kimson left wide open from outside. Oh, the freshman reins it in.
There's the bench production we didn't necessarily see in that first half. Kimpton has the ability to come in, instant offense off the bench.
The poise from the freshman. Hit a big three, put their team up by 8. That was the gamble you get when you throw a double team in the corner sometimes.
And San Diego State, Quezada has got to touch this basketball. She has 0 points in this second half so far.
Barcelo steps into the jumper, rims out, and it's Jackson back the other way to try and extend this lead to double digits. Brown pump fake, oh, caught Quezada, dishes it up, Young with the finish.
Love a good big-to-big connection, and what a pump fake from Melissa Brown, drawing the defense over and then dumping off to her fellow big and Desiree Young.
Quezada fading away, no good. UNLV can get their largest lead of the game on this trip down the floor. It's Brown for 3. Oh, catch it in. Lady Rebels starting to roll.
Melissa Brown has been one of the big difference makers in this game. Her ability as a big to go out, stretch that floor, and knock it down from 3. That's 2 now in this game.
8-0 run for UNLV. The way they've started both quarters in the second half, sprinting out to leads at the moment.
She's playing with so much more energy.
Pepe, the 3, it's short, and the frustration evident on her face as she heads to the bench.
Look at that fake from Melissa Brown and the find to Desiree Young. Then Brown stopping and popping from 3, and that makes it so difficult because you have to go out and account for the big man outside.
UNLV 5 of 9 from 3 in the second half after starting the first half 0 of 4 from outside. Young, the dish, knocked out of bounds. It'll be Lady Rebel ball on the baseline.
Both Young and Brown do such a good job as a big of keeping their eyes up, looking for each other. You can tell they have the chemistry, and I can speak as a former big, you know exactly the pass you have to deliver.
Scoggin open for 3. Oh, they are starting to pour it on. UNLV, a 3rd consecutive tournament title in their sights as they have expanded this lead to 16.
Ashley Scoggins feeling it in this second half. 5 of 10 from the field, 13 points, and lighting it up from distance. UNLV up double digits.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. And by Android.
Taking a look at the last 5 Mountain West Tournament champions. UNLV has won back-to-back, looking for their 3rd straight. And how about the start to the 4th quarter? In 2.5 minutes, Kelly, they have done more work than they did in the entirety of the 1st or 2nd quarter.
UNLV getting big production out of Desiree Young and Alyssa Brown inside. It's forcing the defense to converge in the paint, but then now the outside shooters of the Lady Rebels have gotten going. 6 of 9 from 3 since the start of this half.
And San Diego State's been struggling to get out to those shooters, whether it's been in the half court or transition, and just a different type of shooting display coming from the Lady Rebels in the second half as they've hit all 5 of their 3s in the second half. Villalobos fading away. It's been a tough night for her from the field.
And right now, San Diego State is trading 2s for 3s with UNLV, and that's not a recipe for success.
Jackson from the handoff. Jackson nearly loses the dribble, has to kick it back out. Plenty of time here still as Young pounds it on the floor. Couple of fakes. Young fading away. Prohaska with the board. And Jackson pokes it away from behind, but can't keep it in bounds. It'll be Aztec ball on the side.
It's really the defensive energy that UNLV has generated this half, getting in passing lanes, forcing turnovers that's translated now to the offensive end.
An 11-0 run to start this 4th quarter. Prohaska. Villalobos deep in the paint, kicks it back out. Prohaska lets it fly. She cans a 3.
Prohaska does such a good job of recognizing those digs and those doubles that come inside, then relocating so she can get a catch and shoot.
Jackson the fadeaway and gets it to drop as Jackson continues to attack the rim. Jackson now one of 4 Lady Rebels in double figures with 11 points. She's 5 of 10 from the field. 4th game in 4 nights here in the 4th quarter for San Diego State as Green can't get the baseline jumper.
Brown doing a nice job just walling up Green on that matchup.
Quezada currently on the bench at the moment. She is summoned to the scorer's table though. Jackson, 10 to shoot. Jackson to her left. Prohaska cuts her off. Jackson, tough shot. Excellent one-on-one defense. Running the floor, Barcelo, pump fake, steps through, goes up with the left. Off target, Green, ripped away. It's Brown that kicks it out to Kimpson.
Green just made the mistake of bringing that ball down on the potential second look.
Oh, the dime to Young as she puts it right off the window.
UNLV squad, they're pushing tempo in transition and starting to carve up the Aztec defense.
8 assists for Jackson. And Kimpson also distributing the rock, and that is a big-time 3, much needed. 3rd triple for Lewis.
Lewis has been really the offense in this second half. Has hit 3 trays to keep San Diego State still attached in this game.
All 9 of her points have been long-distance shots.
And they've come at critical times.
It is 14. Brown, the catch, can't convert. And then it gets a little physical as you see Green. Looked like she got hit in the mouth. Brown was flailing. Backdoor cut. Barcelo. Smooth operator as they get 5 straight points to San Diego State to trim the lead to 12.
Barcelo does such a nice job moving off ball. San Diego State still fighting, down 12.
Tonight's expert moves are brought to you by Principal. How about the 3-point shooting from UNLV here in the second half?
0 for 4 in the first half, 6 of 9 this half, and it hasn't just been one player. Alyssa Brown getting into the act. Ashley Scoggin heating up from distance. And UNLV, it's pick your poison right now. Not just Desiree Young inside, the shooters heating up.
When they defeated San Diego State 100-41 on senior night on March 2nd, they hit 16 threes. And probably the reason why this game was close was San Diego State was able to defend the 3-point line. Has not been the case in the second half. And now that has completely changed this game. Now officials at the moment are taking a look at the elbow down at the end of this play. It was between Green and Brown. One more look. Here's Green. Whoa. That right elbow, and yep, that makes connection with the head of Alyssa Brown.
I'm actually surprised they didn't call an intentional foul there.
No word from the officials. Sounds like they're just going to play on.
I think we said it's a basketball play, but
rare though. Typically, when you see elbow or any type of contact with the head, there is something that's called. Jackson trying to work one-on-one. The 1-2 step, fouled and one. As Jackson continues to enforce her will.
UNLV does such a good job of putting Jackson in one-on-one situations and letting her go to that guard post-up look. So skilled off of that pivot foot.
Second foul on Prohaska. And Kiera Jackson now with 14 points ties Young for the game high this evening. Villalobos, Prohaska trying to work the 2-man game. Quezada trying to shake Young. Tough fadeaway to the baseline. That's off target. Simpson wants to steps on the gas here. Don't leave her open. It's Scoggin. Just rims out, but again kept alive. The heart and hustle of UNLV as it's Young with a 2-point shot. And
the big-to-big connection again, striking Brown to Young inside. UNLV, quick touch passes, keeping San Diego State guessing.
Quezada, no good. Offensive rebound to Davis. Davis fouled as she goes up with it. Coming up next, the road to the Final Four continues as our hoops experts break down all the latest tournament action from beyond the court. Don't miss Inside College Basketball here on CBS Sports Network. First foul on Desiree Young. How about that? For all the minutes that she has played, all the defensive play she's been a part of, just her first infraction of the night.
That's why she's going to have a long pro career, because she can guard without fouling.
And multiple positions as well, too, as Davis hits the second of her 2 free throws.
How about this? Aztecs, that was just their 4th free throw attempt of this game. It's a huge area for them getting to the free throw line.
Kimson checked by Prohaska. 12 to shoot as the Lady Rebels start to run some clock.
UNLV too this half. They've done a much better job with their offensive spacing.
Kimson, the crossover, picks it off the glass, and nothing but smiles from the sidelines as Lindy LaRocque laughs it off.
And when you can put the ball in the hands of your freshman Kimson and say, go create me a shot, that is a good sign long-term for this UNLV program. Davis
comes up short. And with 2:30 left to play, UNLV up 17, just moments away from a potential 3rd consecutive Mountain West tournament title.
That's what's so dangerous too about this combo, Jackson and Kimson into this game. You essentially got 2 point guards on the floor who can take you off the dribble.
Scoggin, pass deflected out of bounds. 4 seconds on the shot clock to work with. What do you draw up here, Kelly?
I'm putting the ball into the hands, 4 seconds left, trying to feed Young inside, let her go right up with it. She doesn't need a dribble.
Prohaska checks out with 2:14 left. It's Brown to inbound. Cutting is Jackson. Brown passes it off the rim, and Quezada hurries it down the floor. Quezada, strong take to the right, and this time it's Quezada whistled for the charge as it's Brown that steps in and draws the foul.
I'm just doing a great job. She read that all the way. Quezada coming towards her, got into position, feet set long before Quezada left the ground.
We saw just before half, Brown clap back and chirp at Prohaska. It felt like that was almost the fire that needed to be lit underneath UNLV, because since then, they've been dominant.
UNLV, any type of motivation, and they do such a good job of keeping the poise too when things are not going the Lady Rebels' way. But certainly bulletin board material.
Scoggins loses it. Villalobos up ahead, trying to handle the pass. She falls to the floor, dumps it off. Excellent vision as Barcelo right there for the 2. Timeout, San Diego State. They trail by 15. 1:34 left, UNLV. They can smell a 3rd title. You see just how they've been really able to turn up the intensity here, especially in this 4th quarter.
And it's all happened from the defense. UNLV energized, they're active in the passing lane, they're creating opportunities with some takeaways and knocking balls loose. They're winning the 50-50 balls that we didn't see in the first half.
After tonight, UNLV will head to the big dance, and at 28-2, depending on what bracket you look at, they're kind of floating around an 8 to a 9 seed. You see their big wins over Arizona, Oklahoma. Their only loss in conference play was to New Mexico at home. This is a team that, when you look at matchups in the tournament, Desiree Young is a player that not a lot of teams that they're going to face have seen throughout the course of the season.
She matches up, in my mind, with so many Power 5 posts. She is such a complete player. You have to guard her at all 3 levels. She doesn't get into foul trouble defensively. She could be an absolute nightmare, especially with the shooters that UNLV has, if they can be firing and hitting from distance.
Lindy LaRocque set a program record with 31 wins last season. A win tonight would be victory number 30. They can tie it if they can win their first game of the NCAA tournament.
I've seen a lot of mid-major leagues across the country this year, and UNLV is the best mid-major women's program I have seen.
Saw Gonzaga fall to Portland in the women's WCC title game. Gonzaga, another team that many people feel could make some noise as a mid-major, as Brown is fouled. And during that timeout, Pepe checked in for Quezada. Just a valiant effort from Quezada over these last 4 nights. But tough to play the best team in the conference on your 4th game in 4 nights, as Kimson sent to the floor.
UNLV has done a much better job this half of handling the physicality that San Diego State has brought throughout this game.
Third foul on Lewis, just the 4th team foul. So trying to foul to extend this game, you've got to rack them up as Jackson crosses the half-court line. But Kelly, you said just 2 ball handlers, and Jackson and Kimson that can beat you off the dribble one-on-one, start your offense, and then you just have Young hunting for those opportunities. Jackson goes away from the ball screen, cross-court pass, Scoggin. 1 minute left. UNLV just 60 seconds away from a 3rd consecutive conference title. It's Young, the steal. Young stepping to the floor, and Young, she is down. And this is not good because Young, a non-contact injury. She seems to be shaking it off, but that was scary.
Well, just
Kelly,
watch this footwork too. Just awkward here going up for the layup that rolled her ankle basically. That left ankle came down on it weird.
Could have been a lot worse. She waves to the crowd with a smile on her face. And a wise decision to take her out of this game. That's just the left ankle, and Kelly, every hooper will tell you
it's
happens all the time.
Right? And this crowd breathing a huge sigh of relief.
That is some rest, some ice, compression, elevation.
Right.
And some time off before the women's NCAA tournament. So the night is done for Young, but she finishes up with 18 points, 10 rebounds. On the other end, Villalobos. It's been a struggle for her as they have put a lid on her offensively. And now UNLV, their fans rising to their feet. Most likely their last offensive possession of this game as Jackson dribbles against Prohaska. San Diego State will choose not to foul. And UNLV, it was tied at 20 apiece in half. But they completely flipped the script here in the second half. And they will dribble out the shot clock, and that'll leave 6.3 left in this game. As some more subs come in for San Diego State, you see the emotion for Quezada. San Diego State fought so valiantly over these last 4 nights, but like so many teams in this conference, they have been unable to overcome the offensive onslaught that is UNLV. Much better performance this time around in Vegas than on March 2nd. It was too much Young, too much Jackson, and then Scoggin hitting the threes. To see the emotion from Abby Prohaska. Her lengthy collegiate career, 139 games. Potentially coming to an end tonight. But that'll do it from Las Vegas. UNLV, the Lady Rebels, your Mountain West Conference women's basketball tournament champions for the 3rd consecutive season, as Lindy LaRock is building a dynasty in the desert. Lady Rebels improved to 30-2 on the season. San Diego State, the 7th seed, they got to the doorstep, but couldn't overcome the challenge that it was to take down the Lady Rebels. They'll finish at 22-13, leading scorer for the Aztecs. Prohaska with 13, the only Aztec player in double figures, a team that has 4 players that averages double figures. On the other side, though, UNLV, they have 4 players reach double figures. Young, 18 and 10, double-double. Jackson, 14 points, 7 assists. Scoggin, 13 points. Brown with 11. And the Lady Rebels making a case that they, as a mid-major, can make some noise in the NCAA tournament. And here you see a shot of Stacey Terry Hudson. She was so emotional as her team claimed their spot in the championship game. You can imagine nothing but words of encouragement for her team as they really came together down this stretch. But that trophy belongs to the champions, the UNLV Lady Rebels, that leave no doubts about their dominance in this conference. They go 17-1 in conference play, and then when it comes to the conference tournament, they were tested a little bit in the semifinal game by Colorado State in the first half here against San Diego State. but have no issues in the second. So now we send it to Kelly, who is on the court with the champions.
Coach, you were tied at 20 at the half, then a 11-0 run and a 12-0 run. How were you able to create separation on this very physical San Diego State squad?
Well, it was a battle, and we knew it was going to be a battle. You know, all championship games are. At halftime, we had a chance to kind of recollect. Offense is going to be in front of us, so the message was just really, I thought we were playing great defense. We just had to kind of get some rhythm offensively, you know, and coming out of halftime, really proud of the way our team responded.
What was key to getting that offensive flow in the second half?
Just to play with great pace, you know, get out in transition, attack the basket, get some ball movement. You know, once we get to our second, third action, you know, things can break down, and then we get some really good looks. So, you know, and obviously then you get some easier looks, make some shots. You know, we like playing that way.
What is it about the composure and the poise of this team that has allowed it and equipped it to be able to handle the pressure of trying to three-peat here?
Well, no moment is too big for them. You know, we've been in championship games before. We have great leadership. Point guards that are calm and steady, and you know, just really poised. And we've got post players that, you know, can handle their own. So just collectively, you know, the group is really mature. And so just really proud of them, you know, and to go on these runs and then, you know, to not let, you know, San Diego State back in the game. I think that was really big.
Well, let's bring in one of those post players, Desiree Young, with a double-double in this game to go along with 6 steals. Desi, you told me before this one, you knew this game was going to be emotional. How did your team handle the physicality, especially in the second half, to create some separation?
I mean, we just played hard. I mean, I think we're a second half team. I think we're a first half team. But we knew that in that second half we were tied and we needed to come out and punch them hard. So that's what we did.
How did you generate energy from your defense and translate it to the offensive end?
I mean, I love defense. That's how we win games. That's how we get our mojo. So, you know, I was missing a lot of baskets that I normally make, and I didn't let that stop me because I know on the defensive end, that's where it matters the most.
You're a hometown kid, three-peating for your hometown team. How does this put the cherry on top of a fantastic career here at UNLV?
I mean, I told myself when I came in my freshman year that I wanted to, you know, break the history, break the bad mojo that was at UNLV, and I think I really put my foot on that. I really put my stepping stone in UNLV, and I'm just excited to see when I leave what happens after this. You know, I did a lot. Lindy's done a lot. The staff have done a lot. You know, us as a team have done a lot. So we're just excited for this next level, and we're ready for the NCAA tournament.
What kind of unfinished business does this team still have yet to do in the NCAA tournament?
I mean, you know, we've made it. We just haven't made it past that first round. So making it past the first round would definitely be a big thing for us.
Congratulations, Desi, on the three-peat hard-fought battle.
Thank you so much.
Jordan?
UNLV, the first program in Mountain West history to win the regular season and tournament in 3 straight years. More from Las Vegas when we come back. A third consecutive regular season and tournament title for Lindy LaRocque. The dynasty has officially been established for UNLV. They win 66-49. Up next, the NCAA Tournament. So for Kelly Burke and our entire CBS Sports crew, this is Jordan Kent saying so long from Las Vegas. UNLV, the Mountain West champions. Let's send it back to Adam Zucker in our New York studio for Inside College Basketball, presented by Kubota.